Welkom by nog 'n episode van Wat met my Willim Welsyn, 'n geselsprogrammetjie wat ek vir jou bou vanuit my woonkamer elke week in Durbanville. Hoe gaan dit? Koop julle? Dis maar nou iewers skielik winter hier in die Kaap. Die herfsteers 2 songs klaar gespeel nie. Toe begin headline die winter sommer met 'n double album. Dit's koud. Ek hoop julle hou julle self warm en dat almal droog is. Maar weet ons op die show vandag. Ons het vir Riaan Smit al die pad van Swak op Moond af. Riaan is mos die frontman van die band Crimson House en hy is ook 'n singer-songwriter in sy eie reg. En dan is ek mos nog altyd 'n Windhoek windgat wat love om te brag dat Riaan ook my neef is. En ja, hy is regtig my neef. En hierdie is die tweede keer wat Riaan op die podcast kom kuier. Die laaste keer was way back in 2016, soos letterlik 10 jaar gelede. En ek dink ek het in die gesprek wat ek met hom het vandag, dink ek het ek genoem, dit was in 2015, maar dit was actually 2016. So, nevertheless, gaan luister na die episode, dit is meer van 'n biografiese backstory oor Riaan. Dit was episode 44 en het uitgekom die 25ste Februarie 2015. Ek gaan sommer self weer aan luister as ek klaar hierdie ene gepost het. Maar voor ons na my gesprek luister met Riaan, is daar 'n paar gigs wat ek jou van wil vertel. Ek wil jou nooi, so as jy hierdie Vrydag die 24ste April 2026, as jy vandag luister, en jy woon in die Parel of waar jy het naby die Boland, poel in vanaand by die Naguil, want ek Willim Welsyn en my buurman, bandmate, en my best boelachombom, Mr. Benjamin Hound, gaan 'n show doen daar. Die toegang is gratis, mens kan rook, eet, drink, en daar gebeur altyd mal dinge, as ons by die Naguil speel. Ons ander buurman, meneer Dirkie Bezirkie, hy mag dalk ook 'n special guest appearance maak. En dan volgende naweek by Karoo 62, net buite my hometown, Riaan Smit, speel ek in my volle Willim Welsyn band by die Karoo Bike Burn. Dit is lekker op die lang naweek, dit is van die 1ste tot die 3de Mei, en is net R400 vir die naweek, en dit sluit jou kampplek in. Daar is ook akkommodasie beskikbaar, dit is baie fancy plek, ek was nog nooit daar nie, maar ons gaan vir die eerste keer daar speel, so ek kan nie wag nie, ek wil baie goed gehoor. Ons speel die hele Vrydag aand, en dan Betty's Nuclear speel die Saterdag, en ek sit vir jou die links in die description van die episode, en as jy vir meer inligtings, of jy kan net gaan na karoo62.com toe, die event se naam is die Karoo Bike Burn, gaan 'n baie cool naweek wees, en ek sal het love om julle te sien by van die gigs, as van die luisteraars miskien in daai omte is gedurende die lang naweek. En dan ook, onthou, as jy na hierdie show luister, jy luister elke week, en jy hou van wat ek doen op die podcast, is jy welkom om die podcast te ondersteun. Jy gebruik sommer die PayPal link binne in die episode se description. Dit is paypal.me/Willim Welsyn. Of besoek sommer net vir watpod.podbean as jy sommer straight die EFT wil skiet. As jy belangstel om te adverteer op die show, of sommer net 'n brief wil skryf, stuur die e-pos na williamwelfare@gmail.com. En dankie aan Renée Lombard, wat laasweek iets geskiet het daar vir my. Dit help die program verskriklik baie. Ja, almal is welkom om soos Renée te wees. Ek kan hierdie show slegs op julle genade doen. En as jy in Namibië woon, en jy ken vir Riaan Smit, en jy ken sy pa, en my oom, Andre Smit, gaan kyk daar op Riaan se Facebook page, sy pa is baie siek, en hy is besig om 'n baie cool event te reël, vir al die motorfietsmanne en die motorfietsvroue, en net al die mense wat hom ken, om hom deur te hak en te ondersteun. Kom ons, asseblief gaan kyk of jy kan help daarso ook, want daarso is 'n baie goeie, cool event wat hulle reël, om hierdie oom, weet, Pippin daar die hospitaal te kry, is my oom. Kom ons gaan staan saam, Namibië, stiek uit. Okay, genoeg van my, kom ons luister na my gesprek met my neef, baie talentvolle neef, en baie hardwerkende neef, en onlangs ook 'n pa, hy het onlangs 'n pa geword, 2 jaar terug, 2 of 3 jaar terug. Kom ons luister na my neef, Mr. Riaan Smit, hierso is hy. Enjoy. Riaan, we're talking about Johnny Cash, because you're actually doing a show.
Yeah.
This afternoon, before you're doing an interview, and you're going for a show, and you've been doing this now for a while, the Johnny Cash tribute show.
Yeah.
And doing tribute shows I only joined 1 or 2 of them, but it's so much fun getting into somebody else's songs, and somebody like Johnny Cash, I think that'd be the most fun tribute show to do, because Johnny Cash's songs are, it's so upbeat. Some of them are very dark and deep, but the thing is, Cash is so timeless. Like, when did you start doing that?
It was like 2023, and the thing about doing a Cash tribute is that, like, Cash himself was a tribute artist in a sense. I mean, he's got maybe like 180, or I don't know the exact number.
There's spiritual gospels that he did.
Well, he did so many. He did like you think he does Bob Dylan. He does Depeche Mode. He does 9 Inch Nails.
Yeah, because of the Americana records. That
yeah, and even before, like there was a story, a famous little story of Cash, where he was somewhere in one of his albums, and he had like a certain amount of time for the label to get them an album, and he only had like 2 weeks left before deadline came.
Yeah.
And one of his buddies was like, "Don't stress, sit down in the bar, and let's go through all the records here in the machine over here in the old jukebox, and let's pick 10 songs." And then they went through that, got drunk that night, went through those, and then by the end of the night, they had 10 songs. He did a cover album for the label, because it didn't matter if it was his songs or someone else's songs. They
just needed the album.
You need an album, and kind of started a thing where he was like, let's produce as much music as possible. He recorded like 2,000 something songs.
It's insane.
And like 180 of them written by him,
Yeah.
So when I'm doing a Cash tribute, I'm doing like a tribute to country as a whole, and like but through the vision of Cash, through the voice of Cash and his style, because you take those songs and do something else with them. And
putting a show like that together, did you start just playing it by yourself, or did you build a band with that?
Right away, I wanted to build a band with it, so I went straight for a band. And, at the time, it was like thinking to myself, I wanted to do a tribute, and I do love Johnny Cash, but just kind of looking at like my entire repertoire of, thousands of songs that you've learned over the years. And I saw one name just kept showing up, and I'm like, hell, I already know like 16 Johnny Cash songs out of my head, without ever thinking of doing Cash, just because I love the songs. And, I'd already committed them to memory, and they were kind of part of my life already. So it wasn't like, I had to undertake to learn like 8 new songs.
It's very seamless, actually.
Yeah, and it was a big job to learn those other 8 songs, because now they're the ones that, you're terrified to learn. Luckily, I already knew Boy Named Sue.
Oh, yes.
So I already knew one of the hardest ones. But then there's like Man in Black, Cocaine Blues.
Yeah. Early one morning while making the rounds.
It's insane. It's a great story, and it's like insane amount of lyrics. I was looking at the lyrics again this morning of like Man in Black itself. It's just, there's no chorus. It's just you wonder why I always dress in black, and then tells that whole story. It's insane the amount that, like, a wanted man.
He's the eternal solitary man. The man dressed in black. And the thing is, he's got so much heart. He's not like a Tom Waits or a Nick Cave, like a dark character, but actually, he's the darkest motherfucker of them all.
Yeah, very much.
Because there's so much redemption with Johnny Cash.
There is, and I think it's a man who's, I found myself when I was touring the States many years ago, and I had his biography, and as I'm reading it, I'm going through some of the towns he's talking about. I'm like, how about me? Yeah, look at that. And he was a guy who just looked around him and wrote about every little town and every little experience, and like kind of have a vision of like a different look at the world, like the darker side. That's why he performed in prisons, to play to the...
Everybody deserves a second chance kind of guy, and everybody's fucking human. And that movie was done so well, and it was done in collaboration with the Carter Cash family, which is so cool. Did you know that?
Yeah,
the Walk the Line movie. So they had Roseanne Cash, the daughter, and they had June Carter and Johnny, part of the production team, So they were involved with the story, which made it much more authentic.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's such a fun thing to do this show, because you'd see so many people love certain songs and certain moments and different generations of it. Like this, from the 50s up till like now, up to like 20 years back. There's those different levels. And so when you go through the music, it starts in the 50s and kind of ends in 2000. It's like quite a span of time. And it's almost like you got better with his... Like, I got introduced to Cash by his the album he did with Rick Rubin. Before then you might have heard the songs around like Ring of Fire or something, but then it's like when the man comes around, it's like top level songwriting. There's a man going around taking names. It's like comes in hard, and it's Cash, and it's old, and he's just like, I hope we sound like that at 70, 80 years
but
old.
I think that's very much also the Rick Rubin effect, because Johnny Cash was basically on his way out.
Yes.
You know, and I think that gave him like a fourth breath into life. You know, that song, it's haunting. That ain't no grave can hold my body down with the chains.
Yeah,
I remember Joe Ellis, with who you also recorded. He did a song where Groenies, Jay Gunn's first album, when they recorded that, they also had, I think, what's the song's name? I think it's Wall of Bones. And they had like a Coca-Cola tray, like a tin tray, and they would take the chains and do, so even that piece of percussion, you know, that, like chains, it's like somebody's coming to get you, you know.
Yeah, it talks about slavery, it talks about being held down in chains and that, and it's like all of it, like it evokes a lot of imagery in it, and it evokes the whole idea of it.
Now, Riaan, you, what makes you very interesting is the fact that you've got a band, and that you, like Crimson House is your band, and you guys are a very famous band, and you play fucking a lot of headline slots. And also you are Riaan Smit, you're also a singer-songwriter, and you write your own music and record that as well. So you're a working musician. So I can imagine having a Johnny Cash tribute show as that's another day in the week for a repertoire. You can go and work with a set like that, have a good time on it. I can't imagine, that must be so fucking fun doing a tribute show and then going back doing your band songs and then doing Riaan songs, you know. So it's an extra tool in your tool case.
Yeah, I think it's like, if I look at it from a kind of strategic point of view, it's that, like, I love writing music and playing with the band as well. And I had a weekend a few weeks back, and it's an example of what I do a lot is I'll come into a town and I'll go, okay, Johnny Cash tribute, Crimson House festival show, and then a solo show somewhere, and I'll have the same band, but now we're playing this huge vast amount of music. You know, we're playing like 24 of these Johnny Cash things, then 24 of our own original Crimson House songs, and then 24 of my own songs, and they're all different shows, and maybe there'll be some crossover here and there, but not really. It's very what it is. It is what it is, and it's so fun because the musos are so diverse. Like, I love that playing currently with the guys. Like Ashley, he's such a diverse bassist. You know, he do anything from, we do jazz to rock and roll to bouncing to metalish stuff to blues to whatever. It's like we go all over the show.
That guy is a versatile guy.
Yeah, he's insane. He plays with Jack Parrow.
He plays with Parrow. He can play with fucking anybody.
Yeah,
you know, he plays with you. And the cool thing is also he played with Jan Blom.
Yes.
The thing is, he plugs himself in with cats that actually play a lot of like good gigs, not just like 11 o'clock. Playing in the sun,
in the pub,
in the pub kind of thing. But he also does that, you know. But if I think about, when did we last talk on the podcast? It was like 2015, it's like 11 years ago.
Yeah, wow.
But a lot of things changed in the past 11 years. If you think about that,
so much.
So if you think about your band, Crimson House themselves, since 2015, what happened with the band?
Well, with all sorts, man. I mean, since 2015, we had the same guys, like right from the start. Say like 2010. Right up to about 2018. First one was Jock, who went over to the UK. He was a teacher, so he went off to do his thing on that side, and we got Andre Skywalker in as a bassist. Now, for that time, we had Gareth on sax and Nick on sax. Nick was getting to a point where he was doing really well in cybersecurity and kind of had to make a choice. So he quit music altogether, and we got Tim Welsh to fill in for him. Still had Gareth, then we got Andre Skywalker, on the bass, and he was great.
The awesome South African little Jacob Pistorius.
Yeah, exactly. He's brilliant. And then pandemic happened. There was a huge, shift in everything. We're all separated. I'm in Namibia. Gareth ends up in Uzbekistan. Christoph, the drummer, ends up also in Windhoek, and he's doing a great job at F&B. He's got a great job out there. And so since then, we started having to get different like sax players to fill in for our guys and where we could find them. And now we've got to a point where we have Duncan Johnson and Simon Bates as our sax players, and they're just like two characters, and they're brilliant. And Simon is from Rudimentals.
No way. Yeah. So he played with Carl and them.
Yeah, he played with Carl and the boys. So he's a Brian. He's been part of the band in a weird way since the beginning. He's stepped for us a lot in the day. Like 10 years back when our guy can't make splashy fen, he'll come step in.
Riaan, just pause here. Think about this for a second. Imagine we were lighties having Christmas, and I were to tell you, listen, dude, in the future, you're going to go through sax players like a motherfucker. How cool is that?
Yeah.
Who would have thought that you
Exactly.
I've got this, I need a new sax player.
It's a challenge because the hard ones are, it's one thing to find a sax player who's good at playing, but the other one, the character and the charisma, and every band's got their own thing and their own vibe.
And with you and Nick as well, I mean, you guys fucking tight buddies.
Yeah, we're bras, and we're still bras, and just, in very different worlds. And I mean, we were like inseparable for like 10 years. We toured the world together, we did everything, and so it was like losing a limb when he was like, I'm done with music. I was like, they're heartbroken. But the music itself, it's like, there's some interesting stories in there. Because we've had a lot of... Crimson House is an interesting band from the very, very beginning when we started it. I kind of it came from metal before that. And metal was very serious about, like, one band member leaves and the band has to dissolve. And now you have to start a new band and start from scratch again. And it was this, like, kind of thing I wanted to avoid.
But wait, Riaan, didn't you guys start... It was Crimson House Blues.
Yeah.
So was Crimson House Blues a metal band?
Not even. So what Crimson House Blues... was a makeup of metal bands, like a makeup. Say, Arno van Sale played with a Broken Result. Jock was part of some metal band. Christoph played rap metal as kids, and I played with Azrael, which was like pure death metal. And that whole scene, it was kind of the nature of it was that if one can't make a gig, you can't do the gig, because that's the nature of the music as well. It's very technical.
That person that can't make a gig, he is an important part. You know, without him, it won't work.
And I'd like to say that kind of is for every band, but in the case when I started Crimson House, it was a mission of going, I want to do music as a living, and I'll take an opportunity to say yes to anything before I even know the guys are available.
Also can't be dependent on that, if somebody is not available.
Yeah, so I'd say to the guys from the start, it's like, I'm going to book gigs. I'm going to go crazy. If you can make it, great. If you can't, I'll find someone to fill in. Yeah. And then we never had a dep for like 10 years. Like, those guys made every gig. It's just like, okay, we are replaceable because it's not replaceable, but at the same time we want to be there. And Crimson House has got like 35 members.
Oh my God, that is fascinating.
So that way it's like, oh, we're going to Joburg. This one can't make it. Tobogo, how's it, my bro? Like, he pulls in, he's straight over Soweto, plays fucking amazing. And he'll fill in. And then we'll have, like, Carla Stokes has been with us. We've had Jess van der Merwe with us. We've had, Gareth, Tim Welsh, Duncan Johnson, Simon Bates. And then the Oaks from, like, Jägermeister Brass Cartel.
Is there a band called Jägermeister Brass Cartel?
Yeah, it's a real thing. We get those Oaks, like, hey, which one of you is available? We need an extra bra.
Yeah, that's so cool, man. If you think about the members, you see like 35 members. If you think about my band as well, with drummers, we've got Kyle. Kyle's the guy, but then we've got
you got a
Chris.
Backup for your backup.
We've got 5 drummers. Listen to this. So we've got Chris Burgess. We have got Yigu. What's his surname? Michu Brandt.
Yes.
Etienne, the Sunrise Toffee drummer.
And old school.
And then we've got Jacques Duplessis now as well. He plays for Cat and the Jackal.
Oh, I love him.
And he hasn't played drums since high school, but that is the best instrumentalist, multi-instrumentalist, most versatile one that I know. And we were like, oh fuck, we need a drummer now, and everybody else is booked up. And he goes, well, I can play the drums, and I'm like, oh, fuck, how is this gonna go? We start rehearsing. He's got a swing. He's got chops. I'm like, fuck, Jock, you should play drums much more. And he starts nailing the and we've got some technical songs.
Because I mean, Kyle is a heavy hitter, bro. Like, it's hard to replace that. It's and it's also not a replace. Everyone's got their own flavor, and this is what I'm really loving. Is like, if you think about the kind of concept of us as musicians, it's like, are we the vessel for it? And therefore, like, the people matter. But if the music is lekker, the music deserves to live with it, and everyone adds their own flavor to it.
Exactly.
Like Kyle is his way, and like we also have that with Christoph's our like main original member drummer, still is. But then we'll have Giovanni Serci. He's filled in, and he's an amazing job. And when he steps in, you've got this whole other flavor, and he's really good with. He also plays with rudimentals.
Yeah.
So he has that real reggaeton chops. Like, all of a sudden, the sound has a different thing. And then Brendan van Rooyen, who's filling in now, he's like he played with Jan Blom and with Pestroy.
Pestroy, yes.
Pestroy, like metal back in the day.
Are you talking about Dylan now?
No, I'm talking about Brendan.
Well, Brendan, yeah.
Brendan from brilliant drummer. So now he is adding his flavor to Crimson, and we go down the rabbit hole. Me and this guy, we're like, whoa. And Christoph and I are like, we have a psychic link. We've been playing together for like 25 years, since we're kids. So it's like. But it also takes it, say, from the drummer not to feel like I've been replaced. It's not that. It's like, I can't make it. Let someone else serve the music.
Exactly.
And that's why Crimson House is still alive after like 16 years, is because like we serve the music. And, the guys we're touring with right now didn't record on any of the albums except, say, Arnu when he's here in town.
Listen, Riaan, there's something to be said for that. I think with us being relatively still young, but also remember we're the toppy band now.
Yeah,
If
we're
we get
dad
to we're the dad. I've realized that the past 5-6 years, we're like, oh fuck, we're the old band now. But also, I'm going to speak for myself. Like I still feel we're bubbling under.
Yeah.
It still feels fresh, but there's something to be said for that, because I think a lot of bands unnecessarily break up, you know, because of the identity of the band, you know, like, oh, if this member leaves and the whole thing falls apart.
Yes.
And it shouldn't be like that. I think a band, the songs or the driving force is usually one or two members that actually, they go out, they get gigs, or they commit to things, or they commit to writing or pre-production sessions and stuff like that. But I don't think a band needs to break up or like call it. You know, just take a little bit of hiatus if you've got a moment.
I've been saying this for years. I've seen so many breakup posts on Facebook. Happens a lot with metal bands where they're like, here's the big breakup. It's our last gig ever, and that's it. This is its last final chapter. Yeah. How many breakup posts have you seen?
Nude Girls. I've seen 4. And then it's like, Nude Girls reunion. You know?
It's like, we solved our problems. And it's like, exactly what you're saying. Like, don't break up. It's like a brand that you built up. And it's, you know, even the most established acts play rarely.
Yeah.
So why not just be one of those?
Exactly.
Shows up once in a while.
Yo, why make a fucking scene? You know, just lay off Facebook for a while, and when you feel like it, get together again.
Yeah, just repost some old things if you want to stay current. I don't know. That's what I do, because it's like some of the stuff gets lost. You're like, man, Crimson House been around long before like social media was so easy and
exactly.
So we did a lot of cool stuff that we never caught. You know,
yeah.
Like, oh, here's 10,000 people every other weekend, but you just didn't have your phone. Like, hey, how? It's just like a, you know.
So tell me, since like 2015. With Crimson House as well, because a similar thing happened with remember Ballistic Blues?
Oh yeah, back in the day, yes.
Yeah, so
they were huge for a minute.
It was a great band, and then they changed the name to the Ballistics. You know, because I think they felt they
were being pigeonholed.
They were pigeonholed. Yeah, they painted themselves in a corner, and they were like, well, if we just change the name, all of a sudden the band became much more expansive. And you also did the same with Crimson House Blues.
Yeah.
You dropped that blues part.
Yes.
What was the thinking on that?
The thinking was exactly that. It was that we were doing all sorts of music, and it wasn't necessarily blues. It was all over the place. And but we were pigeonholed into that blues slot and blues assumption. And we love the blues, and it's a big part of everything. But it was when we dropped that, I think we did it already on our 3rd album, and so we have 2 albums under just Crimson House, and because like there was no blues left in that music, you know, it was like we just, you know, to chop that blues thing, and it did help us get, you know, fill up less space on a poster.
Yeah.
And, you know,
Dude, try Willim Welsen in die Sunrise stoffies.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. It's a problem.
You can do a lot with that real estate. You know? Much more pictures.
Yeah, exactly. You check these names, like, you know, great names like Yoav. It's like, there's 4 letters there. There's a unique combination.
I wanna check something here. So on your I want to go. I'm doing this recently. Like,
you go into people's music. Oh,
yeah,
I did release an album. The new one is there.
We're going to talk about that now, but we're going to Crimson. Here we go. So I want to check, because the cool thing about you as well, and I'm so proud. I'm so proud of you of this, is that you don't just do like one single and an EP. You actually fucking put out music, you know. And then like putting out music, you record and you put out music, and you give it the treatment, and you always make videos as well. And so I want to fucking open up your discography here, because you've got to fucking look at this. This is insane.
There's actually a playlist called Riaan Smit Songs, and that is just a collection of, I've just chucked every song I've written in there. So if you check, you might be able to search for it. Who knows?
No, we can open that now. I'm going to open up the album. So we've got
under Crimson House.
Yeah. So this is Bounceology, and then the Weapons of Mass Distraction, which is great.
So in that Weapons of Mass Distraction, the secret is I was lazy and re-released everything after we got dropped from one or other label thing, and there's 3 albums in that one album.
No way.
We basically combined it. Look how many songs are in that thing.
That is insane. So it's disc 1. That is 9 songs. Disc 2. That is 10. Disc 3 is 16. So that is 26 plus 9, 35 songs in one album.
35 songs in one album there. Weapons of Mass Distraction.
That is amazing.
And we feel like that's when we were still like finding our feet. So most of that music's kind of like...
I'm getting goosebumps, dude. Nobody else in South Africa has got an album like this.
35 song album.
You're not even 40 yet. That is amazing. Listen, that's for the fucking young kids moaning about the music industry. It's like, listen, go and put out a fucking album like that, or go and record so much music like this before you're 40, you know? And that's only one album, you know?
And then there's Bounceology, which is, I think, just 10 songs.
Yeah.
And then there's 2 songs released last year, Cassandra and We're All Insane.
Yeah,
and then there's
Cassandra.
a remix. And so I think that's, 42 songs that we have with Crimson House.
That's insane. Okay, now let's go to that Riaan Smit playlist. Riaan Smit. I was listening to your music. I was listening to the Afrikaans song, which is a beautiful fucking song.
Oh, thank you.
I didn't pick up on that one when from recently. So when I saw it wasn't the Robert Bliksem one.
No,
it
that
was
Hoe Ver is die Hemel or something.
Hoe Ver is die Hemel. That's such a beautiful song. Who's the lady that sings on that song?
There was a Nina and a girl named Esmery. And Esmery's actually in a band in Pretoria doing quite well.
Yeah.
I just remember their name, but they're a great band.
Now, what was that thing? Was it a compilation or like a playlist?
So there's a playlist. Let's see if there's a bunch of playlists at the bottom.
This is Riaan Smit. This one.
Not even that one. I think it would actually. There we go. Riaan
Songs
Smit.
by Riaan Smit.
There we go.
Okay,
That's the one. So there's all my solo songs.
That's insane.
And
117.
117. That's released.
Riaan, that is. I'm getting goose flesh, dude. That is insane. 117 fucking recorded songs. That's badass.
Yeah, it's been a minute. It's been a journey of. That's my main thing of music is writing. Like I love it. And
people can't see me right now, but my fucking beck is hanging up here. Because think about this for a second. So I don't know a lot of South African songwriters or artists that's got this amount of this body of work out there.
Like a release.
Look at all these songs. It's 117 fucking songs.
Yeah, 117.
That's that may be fucking more than the Beatles.
I'm sure they had lots of fun.
No, I think
like
the Beatles got a little.
something.
I think they got a little bit more, but for a South African band or artist,
Yeah.
I think that's up there.
And I'm gonna get to a point where hopefully I want another 117.
Okay, so listen here. So I've got how many? I've got 7 albums,
That's a lot.
and I think it's 7, maybe 8. But I think 7 of them are online. Okay. Now this one, and the thing is also, it's since I realized how to publish them myself online, the whole world opened up to me.
Oh yeah.
And having control over your publishing and to follow your own royalties and stuff like
Absolutely.
that, and registering your songs on Samro and Capasso and all that. It's a daunting task, but it's great to have control over that, so that you don't have anybody else you have to nag for that, you know.
Yes.
And you do the same as well.
Yeah.
So what do you use? CD Baby? Do you use Disco Kid?
I use CD Baby. I'll tell you why. I use it because it's a once-off payment and it's there for life.
I love CD Baby for that. I tried out Disco Kid.
You pay for it annually.
Yeah.
Then
So
you hope the royalties-
I've got 2 albums on there just because I wanted to try it out. But yes, you're right. CD Baby is the best for me.
It just makes sense to me, and it's I know we've been kind of shoved around on different distributors over the years because we've been going for so long. So you're like, once you're with this company, and then they shift, and then you end up with a different company, and then you do a bit mass takedown with another one, and now I'm just like right back to CD Baby, being like, yo.
That's the one, yeah. That's the one I used for a cover song that that me and the ex did back in the day. We used Lander because then you can pay the licensing, so that you don't get fucking sued or something.
You know, it's an interesting trick there. Is just unclick the downloads button, and then you don't need anything because they'll get the songwriter will get their digital royalty either way. But as long as you're not digital downloading, you don't have to pay anything.
Oh fuck! I didn't know that.
Yeah, so that's the trick. Just don't do downloads and no physical copies. It's going to just be for streaming, and then they'll get their royalty as the songwriter.
Is any of these songs that you did are they cover songs?
Yes, there must be Spider Pig.
Who owns the rights to Spider Pig?
Interesting story. We did pay a lot for that back in the day because we did that 2015 or 2013. I can't remember, but it was first of all, it was written by the original line. was by Charles Mingus.
It comes from the
Spider-Man.
Doesn't it come from The Simpsons?
So check. So here's the crazy thing: Fox and The Simpsons.
Yeah.
They're first separate entities at the time of when this thing happened, and then there's Spider-Man itself, which is Marvel. So Marvel owns the rights to the Spider-Man theme song.
Yeah.
But it was written by Charles Mingus, just from a bass line he did. So then they made the Spider-Man version out of that. So then Fox got the rights to do the Spider-Man theme song from Marvel on the Simpsons movie, because Fox owns the Simpsons. So then I had to get permission from Marvel and from Fox, and we had a publisher that when it was Sheer Music I was doing at the time. We're like, we need permission for this, and they're like, okay. And then went through the hunt, and they found all the songwriters and owners of this. So they were like, okay, it'll be so much money because we're going to print CDs. So like, okay, that they'll get. And actually had to sit down at some point, and this gives me great joy, is that Stan Lee had to sign off.
Oh my word, Stan Lee
had to sign off on this thing, going, even if you heard it or not, there's a cover. Yeah. It's like, we'll take our money. So it's like,
but
somewhere
think about Matt Groening from The Simpsons. He's probably also part of the credit team.
Yes, exactly.
Because it's literally Homer with his new pet pig on that film. That was the Simpsons film.
Yeah.
Where you go, Spider Pig,
exactly.
Spider Pig.
So they get all the publishing. Still to this day, it will say like Fox and Marvel Comics still gets whatever streaming fucking royalties.
That is fascinating. But with a body of work like this, with 170 songs out there on streaming platforms, I mean, and your songs, they get plays.
Some of them. I'd say like the Crimson House stuff has had good plays. And then on my side here and there, it's like, I mean, I don't even know if it shows the play counts next to those.
I think if you click on if you go to Riaan Smit.
Yeah, I think it'll show on the upside of it on like the main page or something.
Yeah, if you go to the main page. But the thing is about those plays is, for me with the albums and the different songs, I get like, it's like $100 or, you know, more or less, like every month. And you must make a little bit more.
I don't even know. Hey, like it adds up, and it's always a slow burn. But I think it's not enough to live on. Like I also get the publishing side of things. So there's I'm with BMI instead of Samro. So once a year you get a check, kind of thing, and then that's an amount. And then with streaming, that's like that goes directly through CD Baby. And for a while I was with Virgin Music, and then they'd have their back platform, and you can kind of send them an invoice and withdraw your money.
Yeah.
But it's not crazy.
Exactly. There's another one that you used to do, because, do you know Capasso?
Yeah.
It's mostly for television. With the old MCAR videos that we had, and because MCAR is not there anymore, they would play those videos on CakeNet No, which is like it's basically a playlist that just plays music videos.
Yeah.
So it's not a channel that's got like programming and stuff on it. And some of the old tunes started rotating and getting plays on like late, between like 12 o'clock and 4 o'clock in the morning.
Oh.
Fucking last year, December, they sent me a purchase order for 25K.
That's amazing.
I was like, fuck, and just finished my job, my real job. I was like, fuck, this comes in handy.
So nice, yeah.
And so the thing is, you always make music videos as well.
I'm really bad at that. And you know what? I think I make music videos, but getting them placed. This is where I struggle. Is like getting like, hey, play my stuff.
No, let me help you with that.
That's what I need. There.
So the last album that I did was fucking almost 10 years ago. I did a submission at CakeNet where they call it like a competition, like MVP, like a music video competition thing.
Okay.
But they frame it as a competition. Meantime, it's basically them getting content for cheaper.
Yeah, free content. You don't have to pay for it. Just let it play out there.
So it's like every video gets like 50K. So you win 50K. Meantime, it's like, no, you have to hand in your business plan and all that. So long story short, I went through that whole fucking mission, and then they were like, no, you can't. Because I was like, well, I'm the production company. I'm going to shoot this video. And they go, no, but you should be an Mnet vendor. How's that? So then I got friends of mine from Stellenbosch. They had DPK, and I was like, hey, Pierre, Porra, pull in. You must a fucking Mnet vendor. And then I assigned them as the production company. Still did the thing with their help. And what happened is, then I submitted our video. It got airplay. But the cool thing was, and this is the biggest shift that happened with MK. In the old days, you had to get the video on a fucking Beta Max tape. Remember that?
Yeah,
and that was expensive exercise.
Yes.
To get it on TV, and they still had that old system with the robot arm with the little videos. So since MK has died off, nobody was submitting from our bands like videos to Cakenet anymore. But the cool thing was when I got into that competition, I got the back end intranet submission platform from Mnet.
Oh wow!
So when I submitted the video, there's a very specific format that they want that video to be exported as, with a very technical, like it must be this dB, this blah blah blah, and like one music video file would be like fucking 20 gig. Okay, but that's the format that they want that. But I've got the login details to that. So, and I've got the person at Cakenet for getting that online. So if you get the thumbs up, you give that video to me, we export it in that format, and then we get it on TV, because a lot of your songs are being played on RSG.
Yes.
And that is so cool, driving Langpad. Or I would get a text from my sister in the Netherlands because she fucking misses home a lot, and she would listen to RSG, and she would like drop a message on the family group, hey, Riaan, them playing on RSG, you know? And if that stuff is playing there, it might as well fucking play on Mnet or on Cakenet, you know? You're South African, and you've got Afrikaans songs as well.
Yeah.
So let's look that up.
Yeah, let's make it happen, because I've got no connection into it. Because we used to have to do that. That was back in the day, the Betamax whole story.
Yep.
It was a freaking nightmare.
It was a fucking nightmare. And I remember that at that stage, I was like, geez, guys, we already have YouTube. Why should we like be doing this old school way of doing it?
That's a big difference in, I'd say, the music industry from, say, MK days in South Africa, at least, and MTV when it actually played music. It's like, where's there the home for everyone to go and be like educated on something new, in a sense? And I remember how the bands from that time blew up in South Africa, because they got all these. I think Crimson House kind of founded as MK died. Yeah, you know, so it was like
that meant a lot. That for a band like us who's got a very niche kind of audience, or we are a quirky fucking rock band who's not supposed to be booked at a festival, but if you have a video on MK and some students know of your band, you've got a little cult following, that did wonders for and it's the same with getting like television airplay. But now also with streaming, I don't really know a lot of people that actually really watches normal terrestrial TV anymore.
You know, you'd be surprised, but it's not the people you're thinking of, you know, and it's there's people out there, you know. I even think in Namibia, like, it's, you know, such a small country, and then NBC plays out, but then somehow it's 2 million viewers, and that's like it's 2/3 of the country's population.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Watching it, because
that's a whole different broadcasting system I didn't think about.
Yeah.
Do you have any of your music playing in Namibia on radio?
No, I don't fit the format, as it were. The old classic. I'm on radio a lot though. In
listen,
Namibia.
you are probably. I think you. Think about it, a Namibian artist who's got more songs online than you.
You know, in terms of more songs, but someone who's brilliant is like John Rock Prophet. He's doing huge things. He's Namibian, and he's like blowing up. He doesn't live in Namibia. He's like Pretoria, but 5 million streams a song. He's like, he's like huge. He's like got hundreds of thousands of monthly listeners. And we were in the same high school together.
Does he fit the format?
Not even.
What is the format?
Exactly.
Isn't that fucking insane?
Standard, I think it's like 5FM or the standard radio around here. It's like, love the tune, just not a format. And I'm like, what does that mean?
This guy's literally like, if I think about you as well, you guys are exports from Namibia. You guys are like fucking ambassadors.
Yeah.
You know, you make and write and perform the most music, you know.
What's funny is solo, my music plays a lot in Namibia. Crimson House, like not at all. And Crimson House is like Joburg radio. That's like Pretoria. That's where Crimson House lives. And then I live like solo radio in Namibia. And Cape Town, actually radio is, besides RSG, is kind of like, nah.
Yeah, but you want RSG, you know, because if your stuff gets played on RSG, that's the biggest listenership in the country. That's radio, dude, that's the biggest. Wow. It's like if I do like a little RSG interview or something gets played like on Monday night, like on the Tempo, you know, on that little rock slot, like fucking family that you don't even know about would phone you, you know. RSG is a big deal.
It's massive, and I appreciate them so much because they still focus on local, which is so cool. It's interesting to me when I switch on a lot of radio stations. I won't name names, but you switch it on and you just hear kind of nothing, as in it's just like a beat that's going just and it does that for like 40 minutes. Then you're telling me I need to have a 3.5 minute song. and then I've just heard a DJ play out a 15-minute beat.
It's a half-written, Primi Piatti, background lounge, fucking Casio keyboard bullshit, you know?
Yeah, and then I'm like, and you tell me I need to fit into the format of a 3.5-minute song or something, which we do because that's how we think. But I think music's been changed worldwide. If you think about streaming as well, it's like artists are writing worse and worse songs, or songs more for the algorithm. You know, does it catch you in the first 10 seconds? Is it fits under 2 minutes? Is it like it's super snappy? And it's also the expectation of new artists.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like I'm releasing a lot for South African, but worldwide, it's like insane. Like people are releasing monthly, every month, and sometimes 4 times a month, like just pumping music out, just trying to get the algorithm, because it's this. And then what value does a song have?
It's exactly. So that's another thing that people had to adapt by, because remember when we had that changeover, and it was especially local, like in our scene locally, like the people who play the festivals and the gigs that we play.
Yeah.
Online, you would see this debate going down of when CDs is dying out, and no, I'm going to not release singles and the streaming thing, and like people took a while to get used to that. It was a big disruptor, because with CDs, you would go to the festival like Strab, or you would go to Up the Creek, and if you made a bit of an impression like you guys would do, you would sell like 20 or 30 or 40 CDs, you know. At Strab, I would sell 30 CDs and like 5 vinyls, you know. And all of a sudden you've got a extra 10K or something that you can bring home with, you know. And that physical, there's something to be said for that physical merch part. But you know what, there's t-shirts, and you can still do the merch. But when it comes down to streaming, I think the name of the game is putting out meaningful music. Like you said, you shouldn't just like put out just content music, half-baked ideas. I think the more you write and record, like how you are doing it, because those songs, every single one of them is a little fucking investment artistically.
Time.
And it's a time capsule. It's an archive. And it's a little bit of a legacy, you know. When you die, this is going to live on. Your music still lives on and gets played. And there's so many people that I talk to on the podcast who's got back catalogue of music from the old days where they had CDs, but they never put that stuff out online.
So many.
Yeah.
So many bands that I'm angry with, that I love from this country, that I like, put your stuff out, because I'll go searching for it and it's like just non-existent. You might find it on Bandcamp or something.
Yeah, there was So we've got this 4 chucks on SoundCloud. I'm like, put it up online. Come on, put it on Spotify or wherever.
Easy. It's not even difficult. There's so many great bands. So much great music was from here that exists on CDs but doesn't exist in that way. And I don't know if it's disagreements amongst the band members or just like...
No, man, slapgatheid, you know.
Just something. I don't know.
Remember Rooibaard?
Yeah.
They're one of the fucking best bands ever. And I spoke to Joao the other day about this also. Like, we toured with Rooibaard, and they were the band in 2006, 7, 8. They headlined everything, you know, for 2-3 years. They were one of the biggest touring bands in South Africa, and they had one album, and we loved that album, and it was a great album. They recorded in a cave. They never fucking put it out online. Okay, and then we made a mission of bothering them, or the members that were still left, and eventually they got it out there. And I was like, "Fuck! Now my work's done. Thank Lord, it's out there." You know.
And there's a lot of musicians who just don't release, like the great songwriters around here that just don't put their music out. Like, just, you know, they're playing gigs for years, and they'll be well established artists. And they're just like, no. It's kind of like the idea of like, why would they come watch me at the gig if they could hear my music, you know, anytime they want? And I've heard that argument.
Yeah, but fucking put it out then. But let's get back to your solo stuff. So when you were, because you are the driving force, I mean, Crimson House is your band. So what happens that you decide to do Riaan Smit songs instead of Crimson House?
Well, it's the thing of where the songs live, right? And if I look at Crimson House, it's got a certain style. I know the certain style that the musos like to play, and there's a certain thing about it. So, I mean, at first it was a case of like, the worst songs would go to me and the best songs would go to Crimson. But over time,
it's a bigger line for me.
it's like, you know, it might be, but because some songs I'd actually produce on my own, and then I'd be like, play it to the band, like, no, this is a Crimson House song now. So
is it?
Yeah. So I'm like, okay, fine. And you know, then it's this is like Pot of Gold is an example of that. It's on the Bounceology album. It was the first song I did with Antonio as the producer who produced that album. And it was like our first test out, and I had a little toy guitar thing, and we did this song, and he made this full-on production himself.
Yeah.
Tony did it, and then played it to the band. They're like, no, this should be Crimson. And it's actually got some of my most radio play.
Wow.
It's like that song. And actually, there's no Crimson in that song. I barely played guitar in it. It was like Tony produced it, and I just rapped.
Yeah,
It's one of those songs. But it was a thing of like, I also love acoustic stuff, and I love like the Leonard Cohen type of things and country-esque songs, and those things that don't really fit what the genre Crimson House is trying to go for, which is like Afro gypsy fucking bouncy, I don't know what the fuck it is, but it's ska at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And I have some solo ska songs that I was like, that could have been a Crimson song. And some songs that we're like, we still play with Crimson occasionally because it still has that kind of piratey type of vibe. But then I'm like, but I played more solo. So
you guys are so eclectic. You can go all over the show, and that's an amazing thing about Crimson.
It's so fun, man. Like especially with the good musos, because we're playing Afro house, and then we're playing rock and roll, and then we're playing kind of blues, and then
you fucking rock out, dude. Like I remember, sorry for interrupting you,
played
but
with us,
So at Strap, that was one of the coolest moments for me because that was 2023, right?
Yeah, it was hard
2024. Was it 24?
I think it was 2023.
No, man, it was 2024. What's this, 2026, 2025?
Yeah, it was 2024.
Yeah. So we played a rock set, and we that was on the Friday.
Yeah, I
and
played some harp with you, yeah.
You joined us on a chin, and you played harp, and you rocked out on that, which is, you know how cool it feels to go, okay, on stage, this is my cousin, Riaan from Crimson House, and you feel so Windhoek, it's so badass. Yeah? It's not like you're like a member in the band, you play the keys or something, or you just like the drummer. It's like you are the guy, and I'm the guy in my band, and I'm pulling up my guy from his band, and it's such
the feeling was mutual the other way around too. I'm like, this is Willim.
and I don't know, I couldn't like play harp or anything, but I just like, and you've got a big fucking ass band, dude. So it was like, where am I going to plug in? Okay, that amp there, and it's just basically a plug and play.
Yeah.
And then when I joined you guys, it like the crowd was exploding because your energy is, you guys got such a liquor high energy, and I remember I was a little bit fucked there, and because my
I
set
showed
was
you the
done.
chords just before the show. It's like it's AGCE.
And I didn't know. I was standing next to Ashley, and I was like, Ashley, and he goes, he shouts something, I can't hear anything, and I'm just following the threads, and then I got it was in my mind while playing. What's that song's name?
Woohoo! Oh, that one was Medicine.
Medicine, but it's got like a song 2 thing.
Yes, exactly.
It lives in that realm, and then I saw a clip of it afterwards where somebody had a drone.
Yes.
That came in while we were doing that. And I was so afraid to click on that because I can't remember anything. I remember it was cool, but I can't remember any. And I saw the drone shot, and I was like, "Fuck! I'm playing a solo," and I was just thinking, "Fuck! I would love to join Riaan's band. Just look at how cool this band is. It's so badass because you guys got there was somebody on keys.
Yeah, James.
It was James played keys.
Yeah, James
Smit. You played keys. There was a sax player.
Yeah, there was Duncan and Simon. So 2 sax players, and was there a guitarist? I think Vaynant from Sea of Green was playing guitar with us as well.
Yeah, you were on the guitar.
Yeah, and I was on guitar, and then Ashley on bass, and Christoph on drums. So
and then James on keys, and it's a fucking full stage. It's a big,
busy.
it's very busy. So coming back to your solo stuff. So the thing is it a little bit more personal?
It's definitely more personal, but all over the place. We see solo, I just kind of don't care, and it's my own. Like there's no limit to the genres I can do, and so it's like some are reggae, some are completely like acoustic, and some are bluesy, and some are rock, and some are surf rock, and I mean just my latest album, it's
Electric Nomad.
Yeah, and that's like 14 tracks on that thing.
It's crazy artwork,
and and the whole thing is just like the first song, Killer Cat, that's straight up surf rock, and then the next one is a straight up blues song. The one
How's It Wrong?
How's It Wrong? Yeah, that's
that
straight
is a
up
great
blues.
title.
Yeah, How's It Wrong? Yeah,
but how is it wrong, man?
It's a How's It Wrong?
It's most right. Listen,
exactly. And then there's Electric Kisses, kind of like funk rock type of thing. Then what's the favorite song is like Indie, I guess.
Yeah.
What the fuck is the next one? See the Moon is a straight up slow blues. Let Go is kind of like a almost Hit the Road Jack kind of vibe. fuck's after that? Spanish Dancer.
Spanish Dancer.
That's like reggaeton meets surf rock.
Yeah. And then it's
Fly Away With Me was like super trippy, like acoustic ballad. Moon Dance is an African fucking marimba song. After that is Wild Child's also African marimba song, just like, you know.
Okay, can I make a little bit of observation here? Yeah. So your daughter, who's 2.5, right? Her name is Luna.
Yeah.
So there's a song called "See the Moon."
Yep.
There's a song called "Moon Dance." There's a song called "Wild Child."
There we go. Exactly.
Is there a little bit of a subconscious thing of being a dad?
and there's also straight up just like her influence. So I mean, those songs, those specific marimba songs, were actually based off her heartbeat. So in the end, the last song is called "The Corazón de la Luna," which is like, you know, the heart of the moon. And what I did was that while she was still in the heart, like in the boom, it was just like hearing the heartbeat for the first time. And obviously, I record that, you know, and I took that and found the BPM, and I made a whole entire
beautiful.
Made like fucking 5 or 6 songs out of that, you know, just out of her heart, and then just like playing guitar and them and tripping out. And I was playing it to her while she was like in the womb. And when I was mixing this stuff, she was born. She was sitting on my between my mixes, my speakers, and I'm mixing software with headphones on. And I'm mixing those songs. Now she sits in the car next to me and I play them, and then she's like jamming out because she's really familiar with these tunes.
So cool.
And so there's 3 songs that are based off our heartbeat.
That's beautiful, Riaan.
Yeah, man.
Oh, that's sweet.
And then I made a nursery rhyme in there called Big Butt Bella Busby.
Big Butt Bella Busby.
Yeah, which is like a straight up nursery rhyme. And
that's beautiful.
And then there's songs then that are like EDM. I look at, I did something there. It's Don't Care How, and that's just like a full on psychedelic EDM song, and I'd say like house. It's like house music.
Did you produce this whole album yourself?
Yeah, completely just on my own tools and Studio One at my house, and actually just going from spot to spot, because I was recording all over the place for like 2 years. I was moving here, I was touring there, and just with my laptop going everywhere and recording here and there, and just all over the place. And that's why it's called Electric Man Nomad. Yeah,
you're a fucking nomad, madman.
Yeah, it's been everywhere. This is done in like, I mean, this is in Pretoria, Cape Town, Windhoek, Swakopmund. You know, these are all these places, and on the road, and you know, whatever it is.
Yeah, for people out there who don't know, like, Riaan's my cousin, and the weird thing about you is that I never really know where the fuck you live. Okay, so since I was a kid, I remember you lived in Windhoek. Okay, so where do you actually live now? Like, like in your mind, where do you see home as? As in Swakop?
Yeah, I live in Swakop, that's where my property is. But in terms of
do you have a house there?
Yeah. You got a little, not even a house, an apartment kind of thing, and it's cozy, like on the beach. Very kind of secluded life. Like I live out on the edge of Swakopmund, in the edge of the desert on a beach, and then I travel to SA almost every single weekend for shows.
That's a very interesting lifestyle. It sounds very solitary as well.
It's very solitary, yeah.
So, what do you get up to while being alone like that? Doesn't it get a little bit fucking like isolated?
Oh, big time. You know, you lose your mind. But I hang out with my kid. That's all I do. Is I just dad and do my odd whatever local gigs there and just prep for these tours. Because now my whole goal in life is to see my kid and still tour and be a muser.
It's a very big adaptation doing that.
Yeah.
I remember getting Andre as well.
Yeah.
Like when you have a kid, it's difficult to go out and do stuff because you have to take care of your kid. And that's why I started the podcast back in the day, because I left the job at Rolling Stone, which was a very, very much like a rock and roll, fun, journalistic kind of job. It means going out to festivals and stuff a lot. But then I got the kid, had a more stable job, so I had to stay at home a lot. So that's why I invited people to come for podcasts, because let the people come to you then. So for you who had to also adapt now, because now you've got a kid and you're a touring musician and you tour a lot. So that was a big...
Massive. I mean, the main goal for me is like...
And you're still in it, you know. It's not like the kid is like 10, 15 or almost out of school. She's fucking 2.5.
Yeah, 2.5. So I'm like Monday to about Thursday, I'm like dad all the way. She stays with me and we hang and do the school drop-offs and all the fun things. And, you know, just work on music and work on the actual touring stuff, because that's a full-time job, just managing the shows. And I think I step out maybe 4 days a month properly, and I just do like hit hard. Yeah, like I don't do 3-week tours anymore, 2-week tours. I do like
you do stints.
4 days. Boom. I'm in, I'm out, and it's like
So this is the one that you're doing right now in South Africa. This is one of them. So
yeah, this is right now is one of
so
those.
you this is now today Saturday while we're recording this. So you came in when?
I came in Thursday, rehearsed with the band. Friday drove to Gaan for that Green Pop Reforce Festival. Performed last night with Crimson House. Then
In Hermanus?
Then basically drove back last night. Crashed in Tableview. Came here this morning, and now I'm sitting with you on a podcast. Tonight I'll do Johnny Cash. Tomorrow I'll fly back.
Yo.
And so that's what my average every 2 weeks or once a month at least. Step out, do as much as you can, make as much money as you can in like 3 or 4 days, and then go home and be a dad.
But a flight from Windhoek to here, that's like 3K.
Oh, bro! Right now from Swakopmund, where I come from, it's 8,500 for a flight to just to Cape Town. It's about $8 grand as well to Joburg.
Okay, but is that one way?
No, that's a return.
Okay, that's return. Okay, cool. So
Either way, I'm always doing a return, right? You know?
yeah, of course. So that's 8. So it's 4K back. Okay. So the thing is, you have to like fucking make sure your summer is klopping.
Yeah, you got to make sure it works. You know, if you sell out a show and that the other thing makes sense. And I mean, I did it a few weeks ago. I did more than I did proper 10 days that one.
Yeah.
But that was like I'm trying to rehash that fucking crazy weekend in my head. It was mental. But I think we did like Friday, Saturday, Sunday shows in Cape Town. Then on the garden route from like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Came back that Sunday. So it was like almost 10 days out, kind of.
Yeah.
But, you know, did like 7 shows. Like just in and out. You know,
Haarpale as jy
right.
terugkom.
You maybe have a day off on the road, you know, kind of thing.
And how long have you had that property in Swakop?
Man, I just got it in September last year.
Oh, okay, so
I
it's quite new.
Yeah. And so it was yes, and it's on bond. So it's been
Yeah.
it's been a case of as a muso just being like, okay, I don't want to pay rent anymore.
Yeah.
I have a kid. So like paying this thing off as fast as I can so that I can have something for my kid.
Was that a move that you made from Windhoek to Swakop, or where were you based before that?
Cayman Islands.
Fuck, yeah, you went there, Mos.
And then I got locked down, got stuck out of the island during the lockdowns things, and then I couldn't get back to the island.
So you lived there. Did you have a place there?
Yeah, no, I was just renting. So I had a place, I had everything. I was living, and then it all went wrong in terms of COVID and all that. I ended up getting stuck out. I was playing a 4-day festival in Arizona, and so I was just planning to leave for 4 days. And on those 4 days was like March 14th or something, that the island that was like, oh, we're shutting down, there's a pandemic. And I'm like, so I can't go back? And they're like, no, you can't.
You were like fucking Victor Navorsky from the terminal almost.
Yeah, exactly. So now I'm sitting there with like, 4 T-shirts and a guitar. And
In Arizona.
in Arizona. And then it was like, well, the only country I can get into because of my passport being Namibian, they're like, that's where you can go. I was like, South Africa? They're like, no, you can't go there. Do you have any documents? I'm like, nothing. All of it's sitting in, I'm a South African permanent resident, but that's all sitting in Cayman with all my docs. So
Okay, so you were stuck in Arizona.
yeah. And then I ended up from Arizona very quickly flying to Namibia and then got locked down hard in Namibia. And that's why I ended up back there.
Fuck, yeah, because you were based in the Cayman Islands.
Yeah.
I remember you were playing. You had like a residency job there, right?
Yeah, I was.
How did that work?
I was part of like an agency that pretty much just booked you, all the time, and that's like so. I was playing like 20 gigs a month and all these different resorts and different hotels and
Didn't you like play on like ships or
no
like
boats. No, I did no boats.
okay.
It's just island based.
Okay, yeah, so it's like it's like a tourist. People come there to unwind, and you have to entertain them.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
I remember there was a
different.
clip of yours, a video clip where
on,
you
the
were
on that little boat.
yeah, where you were
boat
playing
party.
a show, and I think there was about like 40 or 50 girls with bikinis dancing.
You made a post in the family group, which was something which is
I
like,
laughed. I saw this clip of you performing, and it's basically just titties everywhere, okay? And I made this post, and it said like, oh, shame, my poor old cousin, prayers and thoughts, my friend, struggling musician.
he's having a real hard time there in the Caribbean.
Was that Caribbean? That came in since, that must have been a ball. Did you dig that?
I did and I didn't. It's
Yeah, well, what's the pros and cons?
The pros and cons, I think, one is, like, I think many South Africans have felt this, is that you get sucked in by money and then you don't realize actually what the cost of living is there. So you're like, wow, that's more money than I've ever heard of in my life. And then when you get there, you're like, oh, it's pretty expensive to live. But beyond that, it was, it was a sense of a really, I loved being part of a massive scene, like Cape Town and South Africa in general, where it's like thousands of musicians and new stories all the time, and it's like constant collaborations and new guys coming, and it was very exciting. And in the place I came in, naturally it's small. It's like Namibia in that sense. They are great musicians, but there's like, not a lot of them. Once you've met them, that's it. And everyone's on their own little gigs. So it became very isolated, much like Swakopmund or something, where you're like, there's brilliant musos around, but there's not like thousands,
Exactly.
Thousands. I love being one of my favorite things to do is go to Soundcast Studios and people watch, and just sit there and like.
That was like the old Platinum, the one there in Woodstock.
And they're still cooking. It's busy.
Gurch built those studios. Did you know that?
I remember that.
Yeah. So Gurch, after he had. I think he was in Melkbos, and then him and an old business partner, they literally built those rooms, and then somebody bought that from them, and it's still running because that's like the rehearsal spot there. I love those studios.
It's so nice, and like Gio and them have done such a great job with that space, but it's like such a community space, and I sit there and I just listen and I eavesdrop, and I'm listening to.
It's almost like you're scouting.
Yeah, I'm just listening, and the amount of people are coming that from the past, and like bands that are forming, and I just listen to them talking their stories, talking about their like strategies, what they're gonna do, or they're pissed off with this member, or they're
yeah.
And I'm like, band politics.
Fucking, I hate this set list. We've been playing it for past 5 years.
Oak's pissed off about this Oak's commitment or whatever. It's like it's just hearing all this stuff. But what I see, and what gives me great fucking joy is that I go there and I hear like. I have to book like the week in advance. I'm like, these days, like, it's all fully booked. And I think there's 5 rooms, 3 slots a night. It's like 15 bands a night. And it's fully booked like 10 days in advance. That's 150 rehearsals. What are they rehearsing for? First of all, is my question. But that just shows me that there's energy. There's something happening.
Yeah. That's a little incubator that.
Yeah, there's incubation happening and something's happening. And I heard some grunge band playing, or some sitting outside just listening, and they sound fucking great. And you're like, who are these Oaks? And you see them in the room, and they're all kind of like in their own little zone, just like kids, but sounding great, playing Nirvana covers and things. And I just love that. Like, and then you hear the death metal band, and then you hear this like super hip fucking jazz band. And, Jeremy Loop's crew shows up in there, and, the big guys show up there, the Folkoff guys. And there's just a good energy of like all of this. And I love that community. And that's the part that I missed in places I came in Namibia, is that whilst we have great musos, it's like they all know each other, and half of them hate each other. And in the case of like, it's so huge, it's like fucking, so many stories.
So when you come back again to Durbanville next time, and you want to book a rehearsal or record a song, you must go to Jock from Mr. Catherine Jackal.
Yeah.
So his studio's name is Fresh Meat, and then Benny and Gurch and Jock had a little bit of a rebrand venture, where, because Benny's recording there a lot, as Benny did the guitars in my band, Benny, so he recorded and produced his first like full-length album for Carl Bester and Kreiner's band.
Oh, cool, man.
Go and listen to that album. So Benny's going to be producing on the album as well, I
love those guys.
So we're gonna do it like in-house. But next time when you come to Durbanville and you want to do the rehearsal vibe, do it there at the studio, because you know what Benny does? There's a full fucking awesome drum kit, and then they've got this Trident desk, like a fucking old school 24 channel Trident desk, like analog desk, and everybody gets headphones.
Oh, cool.
And then your plugins and all your shit gets saved, and you can actually record the session as well, which is quite cool to have those kind of demos,
big time. It's great for all sorts of things.
Yeah, so next time you do it in Durbanville. But coming back to Cayman, was like so after Cayman Islands, that isolation vibe and getting locked down in Windhoek, and was it in Windhoek?
Yeah, it was initially in Windhoek, and then I found myself to Swakopmund by the December of 2020, and then I was like, this is a peaceful place to live out the pandemic.
Yeah, but what compelled you to go there?
Man, it was the fact that we were still quite wild at that time. We were able to really get away with a lot, and a good mate of mine had started a venue called Soundgarden.
Yeah,
and this was the only place in the country that was able to get away with it, in the sense of like, it was an accommodation and a backpackers, and he made the garden into a proper beer garden with a nice little stage. And the rules were that you could only serve liquor to guests of a hotel, and that...
So, sorry, say again, the rules were?
That you could only serve liquor to guests of a hotel.
Uh-huh.
So everyone who paid an entrance fee was just a guest at the hotel. But not actually into backpackers. So they just, there's a cops at shops sometimes be like, get to bed. And then the whole audience has to go run and find a bed somewhere in the backpackers.
That's a weird hustle.
Yeah, and it was an interesting hustle to the idea that like it started off like that, but then it became a great venue, and it's I kind of have a stake in that place in the sense of like keeping it alive, and it's been like the home of Swakopmund music. So this was a place all of a sudden the pandemic, and I'm talking like December 2020.
Oh, that was like during lockdown.
Yeah, during lockdown, I could play twice a week at this place, and so I mean that's my bread and butter is live gigs. So we were still charging, and people were coming, and we, did the protocols or whatever. People are hungry for music, so all of a sudden I found a place I could still make a decent living. And I was like, well, this is comfortable. And then, the rest of the world was fucked for another 2 years. Yeah. So for like 2 years, I was just kind of in this cycle of, well, there's a comfortable venue. And I still did wild gigs all over Namibia. Yeah. And I'd drive out into the bush and up mountains and to the wherever. Like, eventually you buy a 4x4 and you're like, cool, let's go.
The same thing happened at Daisy Jones. Like before it was, Daisy Jones was like Orgasmic Music Gallery. Yes. And before that it was Dorp Street. So when the pandemic thing hit, everybody was fucking playing these bedroom gigs with their fucking kas still open. You can see the onderbroeke, Remember that like online vibes? Oh yeah. And Albert Frost used to do like a Tuesday blues day thing, and then that venue was basically not running and operating, and Conrad got involved there, and then they started like streaming the stuff there.
I wish I was here for that. I saw the stuff.
And I was also so kajuitkoers, what do you call it, cabin fever. And I remember because I had like a medical thing where I worked for a medical company, so I had like papers, essential services, so I could like get out of the house. And I would go and join and MC those gigs. Now, I'm not a fucking MC, but I would go and MC them, and then all of a sudden it started to become a thing. And I remember Strav was cancelled, so Conrad phoned us like a day before, and he goes, "Listen, do you want to play an online Strav festival tomorrow? Can you guys be here?" I'm like, "Fuck yes," And we did that, and actually made some money with the donations and stuff.
Yes.
And then I had this brainwave of doing an online festival where you actually get corporate sponsorship. Well, not corporate, but it's almost like a rugby day where in between the changeover there's like Zoom interviews going on with bands. And we were like, it was 4 bands. It was Valin Swart, it was us, it was Captain Jackal and the Wrongs. And then in between we would like interview Wendy Oldfield, or we would interview the Blackjacks,
Yes.
So in between the changeovers there were interviews, and then I had to go sell in 1 week. I had to sell 150K worth of advertising make the ads. I almost died doing that thing, but it was a success. And now that venue, because of that thinking, because of COVID, that venue actually became like Daisy Jones. It was like a little bit of a snowball effect. It's cool that stuff like that happened, and so this is your Swakopmund story of how that happened.
Yeah, exactly. And now that place is still the home for music in Namibia, and it's the best venue in the country.
Yeah,
it's like it's got the best deal. It rocks, and the owner's a legend, Lekker Oak, and he just is like, cool. What do I need? I need to buy a system. I need to do this. I need to do that. And let's.
Didn't those owners? Didn't they go to up the creek?
Did they? Nah.
This year.
No, I don't think so. I keep on trying to convince him to come down. And I'm like,
no. I met people there from Uchu.
Oh yeah.
I think his name's Paul.
Yeah, I know the ones. Lutz.
Lutz, I met them. So I was thinking about them now.
Characters, those.
Yeah, and they told me that they know you very well. It was what's his wife's name?
Melanie,
yes. Very friendly people. I met them there.
Lovely.
They're cool people.
True Namibians.
But so if you think about the Namibian cats, obviously it's you and somebody that I'm a very big fan of, Andra.
Oh yeah, she is
spectacular.
Legend. Yeah. No, she's
and what was that guy? Just give me some of the acts that's actually out there performing, writing, and doing it like you.
There's Zacharias Tsam. He's a Bushman dude who plays the blues.
Yeah,
like really well. We got Vaughan Arends. He's been doing great things in South Africa. Like he's been doing like Splashy Fens and the Millie Pops and getting out there. And he's got like great songwriter, very good producer. Then you got Janelle Buerta, she's around. Jacob and Taylor, he's like We call him Grappie. He's a real funny. He looks like me. They say he looks like me if you got me on Wish. Plays harmonica and loops and stuff.
He's a Temurian.
Yeah, but yeah, exactly. But he's fantastic. He's bloody funny. Eh?
Yeah.
And who else? We got a bunch of legends. The Yesterday are like the busiest band in the country, like internally.
What's their name? Yesterday.
The Yesterday, yeah. The L's, they also did Up the Creek this year. They got on stage with us this year as well. The L's, they're fantastic. I mean, it's actually a Zimbabwean and a Nigerian. And and they're like the biggest artists in Namibia.
That's crazy.
They're good as well. They're bloody good. I mean,
I'm
great
so
songs.
fucking. I missed you guys' set because we were at the up the creek and we had to leave that Saturday morning. We had to play Stellenbosch.
Oh yeah.
And then I was so FOMO when I saw
the boats.
Oh, I just love seeing that. Like every time there's up the creek, I would go refresh my page on a Monday to see if Riaan was on a boat in the crowd surfing.
It's not an expectation at that festival.
Yeah, I think
It's
you.
like, I show up backstage and it's there waiting for me.
I was always wondering, like the bottom end of that little boat because it's like soft, you know.
Yeah.
I was wondering if you put like something.
We did the first time round. Right in the beginning, we were very paranoid. So we cut out a piece of wood and put some pipe around it and put it in there. It's exactly the fit, and then like cool, let's do it like that. But then it's just become all fast and loose. And the last one was fucking it was really deflated.
Yeah.
So I'm holding on for dear life for this thing. I was like, I still felt it as I got backstage. I'm like, oh, and the bomb's far away. So you're like, okay, let's do it. And Conrad saved my life twice already now.
Really?
Yeah, Conrad. He saved my life last year. Was it the year before last year? Well, literally, somebody thought they were being really nice by trying to like stop my leg from hitting the guardrail to jump back on stage.
Yeah.
And he was holding my foot and not letting me like get loose. So I was about to push over and end up in the pit, just like that's it. And Conrad like caught me and pulled me up. With there's this photograph where like we have an embrace. He's like I'm hugging him like. And then last year the same story. This year he's like, oh fuck, it's that time. I walk past Conrad, like it's that time. He's like, oh. The boat
got a fire
comes out.
extinguisher. you got your medikit. You got your pump for the inflatable boat.
Yeah.
Like Conrad, I'm ready for your gig.
Went smoothly this year. They had a little catwalk. It helped. So they went really smooth this year. I just chucked that boat on and then went right down the middle. Worked well.
Oh man,
less gap.
Listen, did you ever do the Up the Creek gig with the boat thing while Anthony Bumstead was still alive?
Fuck, I think we did, eh? We did.
Because that would be like an Anthony Bumstead magic trick that he would just love to.
Yes, we did. We did actually. And I think that, what Anthony Bumstead, bless his heart, man. I miss that guy. Because he was a guy who was not like afraid to take risks. And he would always call me up and go, okay, I've checked with some other oaks and other oaks aren't as crazy. So I think you're the oak I'm going to check this with. Can we do this? And you'll share this idea. Like the one year was, okay, I want Black Cat Bones and Crimson House both on his stage each and playing one song, challenging each other.
Remember that year
with like Conrad in the middle of like as a like kind of.
That was like it was almost like a ping pong between you guys.
Yeah.
I remember that year. That was amazing.
And that was like the Thursday night party, and then they all joined us on stage, and it was this big 20-piece band. And Bumstead, that was his it was the final creek, so he was like, I want this to happen. So I don't know if he attended the creek actually when we were on the boats, but the one year I had my brother-in-law Buzzy surf on a surfboard across the audience whilst we were playing Missouri Lou from Dick Dale. And then he got on the boat and surfed across. And Bumstead saw that. That was the same year as the Black Hat Bones versus Crimson House, 2 stages at once.
Because that guy's organized chaos, and the last time I've been to Up the Creek, I think it was 2019, before this year now. Yes. And that was the last time we played there. And I think because he passed away during COVID, and I played at his wake. Now the weird thing with Anthony Bumstead is that I never really liked Anthony Bumstead because he said that we played over our time, but years ago at Up the Creek.
And he's pissed off for all those years.
And we fucking didn't, okay? And I'm like, Anthony, why can't we play Up the Creek? No. Last time you never go over your time. And I go, Anthony, we didn't go over our time. We played fucking 9 songs. There was like 10 minutes extra for the next band. And he goes, no, you played over your time. Yeah. And the thing was, I was always trying to impress him.
Oh, yeah.
And I hated that about Anthony Bumstead. I was like, why do I still try to get your approval? And I remember at Strab, he came to me and he was like, you know what, you're all right. I'm like, and I've been trying to tell you this, Anthony, and the weirdest thing was I ended up playing at his wake.
Oh, that's amazing.
I was standing on stage at his wake and I was like, I still don't know why I'm here. I don't know who invited me, but I'm here doing a tribute to fucking Anthony Bumstead. And I spoke to Conrad this year as well, and I was like, we were talking about you, and Conrad said, he was like, listen, because you miss Anthony Bumstead at Up the Creek.
Yes.
His presence is really, really missed there.
Oh man, I can tell you a story of that guy. If it wasn't for him, Crimson House would have not done anything that we got to.
Is it?
It's like what he did for us right in the beginning. We got booked by Anton Marshall to play the Rolling Stone stage at Up the Creek, and I think this was like 2011 or 2012.
That would be 2012, yeah.
Yeah, 2012. And so like we playing Friday afternoon at 12 p.m. in the afternoon, when people are still arriving, and we're playing on that stage there. And it's like the smallest stage, smallest slot, fucking, we mean nothing. And Bumstead's there to watch the set. And he's like, he's well impressed. And the next year he's like, no, I'm going to put you guys on the river stage. Yeah. He managed to get us in. And no one wants us. Like, none of the other organizers actually want anything to do with us. But he's like, no, put him on the river stage.
You guys paid your dues and fucking Up the Creek.
And what ended up happening is we were going to play the river stage, but it pisses out raining. And so they have to move it. Now there's this new Jameson stage they've set up at the top there that's not being used at that time. And they're like, well, I have to move the whole thing there. And we're no longer at like 2 p.m. at the river stage. Instead, we're going to be 4 p.m. on this big stage now. And there's Bumstead right there, and now we've been given an upgrade. It's like, oh, this is better,
much better.
And it's raining, so the whole fucking audience isn't under this tent. So now you got the whole Up the Creek under the tent, and we're doing now.
It's actually a happy accident kind of thing.
Happy accident. So now we give a show, and the crowd fucking goes crazy, and so he contacts me for the fucking 2 years later, and he's like, listen, I've been fighting this, and they're not agreeing with me, but I want you guys to be on the main stage Friday nights, like 9 p.m.
Wow.
I'm like, oh, fuck yeah. And so we'd be like, this is but at the same time, I have this crazy idea, and I think you're the only country who want to pull this off. And wants to do that stage, that thing. So I'm like, I'm in. Let's go. So we do that, and then we really want to own our space. So we're sending boats out on the audience. We're sending out
you guys actually came prepared.
Yeah, we went mull, and then from there it was like, okay, now they have to be Saturday nights, and it's been Saturday night ever since.
Yeah, so the thing is that guy gave your rule of passage almost. The thing is,
like,
he was the guy that promoted you. He
said, give him a chance,
and you fucking stepped up to that.
Yeah, and he gave us that shot, and we took it, and it's like, I'm so thankful to that guy, because after that, everyone saw what we could do. Because it's like, you kind of, they didn't get the audience going at 10 a.m. It's like, what do you fucking expect?
Yeah.
It's 10 a.m. It's like, there wasn't thousands of people losing their minds. It's like,
manage your own fucking expectations.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like,
but it's great that you would see that, and that's also the reason why we got back to Up the Creek, because of playing Zegens or playing at Strab, and Anthony would go, oh fuck you, this band's playing like 10 o'clock in the evening on a Friday night at Strab. I was like, okay, you guys can play Up the Creek next year again. I'm like, oh fuck, finally,
we're back.
So he was a great curator, that guy.
He was, man. He did with so much heart, and like, he really cared. Like as mad as he was. The first time I ever saw him, he was dressed as a mouse, and he jumped on stage, and I was like, and I was thought that first Creek, and I was like, and they're like, oh, that's the organizer of this thing. I love him.
The guy that's basically in the spandex, He also did a very cool thing before he did the thing with you guys in the Black Bones. Yeah, he would organize the Fake Leather Blues band versus Black Bones.
Yes.
So then it would be both of those bands on stage doing like one song, and then the other band, like they would do one song almost as ammunition, as if they're fighting, and then the other band would respond by their song also as if they're fighting each other. And that's such a cool. It's like spicing things up and actually creatively putting up a production.
Yeah.
And there was another one which was fascinating. Like Albert Frost's mom, Maggie. So she married Rob Nagel.
Yes.
At Up the Creek, and Piet Botha was he was the officiate.
I remember that.
That is fascinating. Okay, but listen, congratulations on your new album. I didn't spin it yet. I feel horrible. I'm gonna spin it afterwards, and I want to know. Before I'm going to let you go for your sound check, being a dad and making music, what have you learned? You know, because this is a whole new, different phase of your life.
I think it's separating your time correctly. You know, it's being able to manage that and
More organized.
Yeah, you have to be, because it's just like I want to be fully present when I'm with my kid, and also there's a wealth of stuff within that and the emotions you feel from the kid.
Yeah.
So when you're fully invested in the kid, it's like it kind of fills that cup, because you got to pull from somewhere.
Yeah.
You know, and if we, you know, the cup is half full, and that kid fills it up a lot. I mean, I'm sure your kid, it's like,
Yeah.
there's all sorts of, you see things through their eyes and just get more playful, and you find that music's a playful thing.
Yeah.
So like musically for her, I'm just going back to nursery rhymes, and I'm singing, you know, fucking Wheels on the Bus and whatever.
Yeah.
And then it appears in my life as I start writing songs that I start writing a bit more nursery rhyme-ish.
Yeah.
In a sense of like simpler
More
melodies.
like that childlike wonder.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden I'm not trying to be so clever. Because like, you know, good songs aren't necessarily clever.
But the
You
thing
know?
is, that's the thing that I picked up from you songwriting wise. I never picked up on that you were trying to be clever. You know, it's like you would write a line and it always lands. You know, and I was fucking impressed listening to your Afrikaans song. I was like, Jesus, Riaan, daar was 'n hele ander en ding is ek praat nooit met jou Afrikaans, ek wonder hoekom jy Engels praat. Maar jy het 'n hele ander vernacular daarso. Ek was so impressed geweest om net te hoor hoe jy daartoe gaan. Because I never hear you praat Afrikaans. Praat jy Afrikaans?
As ek Afrikaans praat, dan fuck weet. Ek dink ek klink soos 'n gemeng. Ek het eintlik Afrikaans geleer met Cape Coloureds.
Is
in die
dit?
Kaap. So vir 'n lang tyd was dit, "Sy my broer, wat sê jy julle wat moet
Daai ousie, sê jy dink jy's bedit, né?
Maar ja,
Jou bek vir sou oopmaakie.
en in Namibia is 'n verskillende Afrikaans. En my Afrikaans is net, ek weet nie, it's survival Afrikaans. My IQ drops like 80 points.
Nee, maar as jy nou when you write songs in Afrikaans,
Yeah.
like when I remember when I did the Shant album, writing English was so fucking, it was very daunting, and going there in just because of syllables, phrasing, you know, just
It's like how you would normally
the
say
dynamics
that.
from language and the double negative van Afrikaans. Ek was nie daar gewees nie, you know.
Tough one.
And so when you started doing, what compelled you to write Afrikaans songs?
That specific song that I'd written, it was like literally, it was just coming to me in Afrikaans, and it was just one of those, like, I just felt like I didn't even put a lot of thought into it, and it was just like, but I did have some people help me with notes, like Nino, who's fucking Afrikaans, is like, no, that's some cuck. What you, so I did take advice, you know, so I'd written that, and she's like, no, that doesn't make sense. Like the way you're writing that, usually you would say it like this, and I'm like, oh, I didn't think to use that word, you know, like it's. So I did have help. And
I've got an idea, okay? Because you are such a doener, you know. You execute stuff. Do a Riaan Smit Afrikaans album, okay? And then I'll be your assistant with that.
No, that helps.
Because I've been going through, since having a whole new life, I've been going through a thing like klaar, you know, with a fucking marriage, and klaar with a big house. Now I'm, you know, small nut, low overheads. Now I'm in an apartment, and I started writing a lot. And the writing part, getting into the playfulness of songs, that's where the money is for me now, because the just playing with language,
Yes.
and getting into that state of play, and it's cool that you would mention like the nursery rhyme thing, because that's like having fun with language.
Yes.
Out of that comes something totally fresh, you know, and I would love to hear more Afrikaans songs, because I think there's something there. I mean, obviously you're a great songwriter as well in English, you need to continue that, but I think that little, like, challenging yourself in a different language,
Yeah, it's a thing.
something totally, like, you don't sound like any Afrikaans artist.
Yeah,
Or any
organically.
Afrikaans songwriter out there. And the thing
Yeah.
is, I would usually listen to stuff like that, and it sounds like it's such a fresh take.
You know what I'd be scared is that I'd have to sing it live.
Nah, but you can do that.
It's be like, oh fuck, because yes, I can fuck up my own songs. Eh?
Yeah, but luckily it's yours to fuck up with, you know.
Yeah, it's true. Until the lyrics belong to them, and then they're like, I.
So okay, before you go, what lies ahead for you, Riaan?
What lies ahead for me? It's just more of this, just more of the touring, more running around. And I mean, I don't know. It's like, how long is a piece of string? It's like every time you get the fear of being an artist, I'm sure you do it your entire life, is that I get the fear, and then I look out there and I realize everyone's fucking scared. And it's kind of like Jim Carrey. He had that thing was said it's his father played it safe and then still failed. And so it's like, rather than if you're going to fail at something, at least do fail at something that you're like really good at, or that you love, so I'm highly unemployable. Yeah. And this is what I do. I've been a musician and I've figured out my ways. I'm still figuring it out, and just need to learn more.
But dude, it's admirable, the way that you are a working musician. And remember, a lot of I've been a weekend warrior for years. I'm in your spot now, it is scary to figure out how to navigate it. You have to come up
with 100 ideas a year.
And those ideas have to be executed, and some of them are going to fail, but there's something very admirable with you, because you've been literally doing this full time, and somebody like Groenies, like Jake Gunn, full-time musician, and he learned how to be a full-time musician from somebody like Piet Botha.
Yes, different thing.
So that guy was his guide. Like, if you want to do this, do it. Make sure you've got your 4 or 5 gigs a week and go and do it. And that's what you also do. This is one of those bands. There's actually I don't know a lot of bands and artists that do this full-time, just this. It's fucking difficult.
Dude, there's a lot to be said for the way that changed it in my mind is I could do 5 gigs a week for little money, or I could do 2 gigs, 4 gigs a month for a fuck ton of money. And what is those fuck tons? And that's where you start thinking about, like, what's the, you eliminate all the shit. And what I find is I have more energy to put into the big things, because I only sell tickets. If a festival books me, I actually make no money doing that. Yeah, it's that's just getting there, and it's part of your, like, building your your audience and being part of something big. But with my own things, I just sell tickets. Yeah. And then it's up to the idea.
So it's almost like the economics of scale. So you think that's the incentive. How many seats we are filling, that would depend on if I'm going to fucking fly and do the gig.
Well, exactly. And it's like an idea, and that's up to you to make that happen. There's the risk, right? So if you book a venue, a lot of them come with big risk. But if you book a 400 capacity space and you can sell tickets at $200 or whatever it is, you've got some money to work with. And think about it, usually costs you half of that just to get it done. So now you got to achieve a few of those a month. So there's a lot of risk that goes into it. But, like, my entire thing now is focusing on I lose energy if I play, like, I put a lot of soul into my shows.
Yeah, you do, yeah.
So if I do like 4 gigs a week, I'd fucking die. Yeah. And so I do maybe 2 or 3 and maybe 7 in a row or something, but, like, in a different nature. But that's it. Like, that's it for the month, and then the rest of my time is just promote those, work those, make those work. And then, because I don't have that energy if I'm playing, like, 5, $2,000, $3,000 pub gigs a week, I'll fucking die. Yeah. Like, your energy goes, because it's a late night every night. It's not good for your lifestyle. It's
but listen, Riaan, I'm fucking very proud of you, because that's a very adult way. It's a very mature way of thinking about it, because it sounds like you did it a certain way, and then you started strategically getting yourself into a new bracket. You know what I mean? It's like where you go almost like the quality of gigs, and it's because obviously of where you live as well. If you're going to come and do gigs in South Africa and do it, then you have to do it with purpose, and you have to really organize it well.
Yeah, exactly. You're starting off with a huge cost of sale. And it's like, the thing is like, all right, this is going to cost, fucking whatever it could be. It's a lot. And then make sure that you double whatever you've put in, it's that kind of thing. And it's that constant. I used to think, there was a time where actually it was like January of 2022 or 2023, because that was COVID times. You just gig like 5 gigs a week was that kind of energy. It was like gig. And I thought to myself, fuck that. I looked back in 2022 and I did like 140 something shows. And I was like, look, I got
that's Piet Botha numbers.
Yeah, and it was hurting me, man. And I was looking at my, like, what I got for that gigs. And then when it started with, like, I went on this fucking thought process of just in January of that year, I was like, I'm going to change it. How can I get the same amount out of, like, 10 gigs? And I did. That year of 2023, I had 140 gigs. I did like 14 gigs. Yeah. That got me the same amount of money. Wow. And that, like, really put my energy into what matters, promoting and taking big risks, putting in the energy of something new. And that's like just changing strategy. And now I can still kind of be there where I'm maybe doing like 30 gigs a year, but they count.
Exactly, and the thing is, you can be proud of those gigs because I also checked that you put a lot of more emphasis on like production.
Yeah.
And there's a seriousness to it. And it's like, I got out of bed for this, so you must come check this out. I didn't come play this gig, just come fucking wing it. I actually, we rehearsed, we put thought into this.
Yes, this is a beautiful thing, and there's great musos, and there's people involved, and there's like, there's so much, energy and thought. It's not just, we're here to play some fucking tunes. It's like, no, what we're doing. We're doing something special tonight. And I mean, I felt great when I came into Cape Town 2 months ago, and like every show we did, we sold out with like, just the 3 shows in Cape Town, and then go on the garden route, and then those are packed, and you're like,
cool, mission accomplished.
There's still this energy, and there's still this thing, and a private gig's a beautiful thing to get, but you can't rely on them.
No, you can't. Yeah. They actually like the bonus. Those are the bonus gigs.
Yeah,
that's almost like your that's a bonus. That would be like that's a nice thing just to get. Like a los gelukkie, but you have to do those other ones to get those bonus ones.
Exactly. You have to play public to get private. And like I think for most young musos now, it's like just play as many gigs as you can, but at the same time, like think of something worth selling.
Exactly.
We're in the nature of selling tickets.
Yeah,
that's what we do. Nobody's. I don't think any venue can afford to pay a huge performance fee to a risk.
Yeah, but there's a lot of venues where you have to think for that venue as well.
Yeah,
because some promoters or some people are under a misconception of what needs to happen for this thing to work.
What still blows my mind is that there's a lot of venues out there that, and bless them all for what they're doing, but some of them will charge huge amounts to rent the place. And I think to myself, it's interesting that we live in the only business where you'll pay someone to bring them clients. It's an interesting place to be.
Yeah. The incentive is a little bit backwards almost. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Or like a major cut or something, and you're like, wow.
But Riaan, listen here, bro. Thank you for coming in, and I'm fucking proud of you, bro. And you're doing amazing. And every time you do something, I can't wait to see it. And I'm gonna fucking spin your album now, or when you go to your gig. And
you'll notice there's like 7 instrumentals on that album.
Really?
And it's been a nice thing to get into. Is like the second half of it is instrumental as fuck, and it's like. That's another side of it. It's like languageless music, It's like, it just feels good. And they wouldn't work. That's why I didn't release them as singles.
Yeah.
I was like, put them all together, then it makes sense.
Yeah. In the context of the album, it makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we were talking about it just before the interview, Angine de Poitrine, that fucking crazy band from space. What that band did for music also, and for instrumental music. Think about like that's a French band from fucking
Quebec.
From Quebec, British. What do you call it? British Canada. What do you call it? Colombian Canada.
Yeah.
So the language, no barrier. Boom. Yeah. So that's cool. Instrumental music. Yeah, I can't wait to spin it. And congratulations on everything. And thank you for this template that you shared with me of how you do the gigs. I really, for me now, who's also in a whole new state of mind and how to approach music and how to approach it, it's actually very insightful. And I took a few notes, and I think other musicians listening to this would also have taken a few notes. Like, do something with purpose.
Yeah,
actually make a plan with some
like,
numbers.
Why is this gig? There has to be like there's like got to be a how, what, where, but the why. That's just important too. It's like,
well, I am glad you came here. I love you, my bro. And thank you for pulling in. Great talk.
Yeah, man. Shout for the chat, bro.
Daar het jy dit. 'n Lekker gesprek met Riaan Smit, my neef. Ek dink ek is nou eens 'n bietjie klaar Engels gepraat vir die afgelope hoeveel episodes? Dit was hier van Donnie af. Donnie, en toe is dit 2 episodes met Joao, en hier is nou 4 episodes waar ek is nou gatvol Engels gepraat. So ek kan nie wag om volgende week weer 'n bietjie Afrikaans te praat nie. So dankie dat jy ingeskakel het en dankie dat jy geluister het. En onthou as jy iets wil skiet vir die podcast, gebruik die PayPal links in die description van die episode, of gaan sommer net straight na watpod.podbean toe as jy iets wil EFT. Julle ondersteuning word baie erg waardeer, en dit help my om hierdie show in die gang te hou. En ek waardeer jou ore, ek waardeer jou aandag. Ek waardeer jou belangstelling en ek wil hê jy met 'n baie lekker naweek hê en dan sien ek vir julle volgende week. Totsiens.